to our amazing call this morning. Welcome to our Wellness Warriors call, and we get to have the Holistic Justice League, Miss Seema and Ra of Earth, on our call with us today, which is super fun. Oh my gosh, we have Gabrielle coming in too. And Nancy, so good to see you. Thank you for coming. It's so neat to feel that we can all be together. Like we used to, hold on, let me see. I can't find who's unmuted. Let's see. Okay.
Gabriel.
Okay. Sounds like she's enjoying something delicious. It's so much fun. Like we used to have convention and we would get all together and like everyone would start like knowing each other and stuff. And this is why I'm so in love with bringing our teams together, because we see each other on, our Zooms and everything. Welcome, Sierra and Baby Ocean. And it's just like so much fun to be able to have new faces and fun stories and just more inspiration so that we can just keep this fire ignited. Hi, Dominic. He's all about waving to us now. It's so great. This baby has been on superfood since he was like 5 months old, basically. He's like, hi, yeah. Oh my God, I wish you could see the whole screen. I'd like to start doing that, recording the whole screen instead of just me. But so Seema and Ra are like the poster couple of Purium, in my opinion. I really wish we could get like more like pictures of the people in our group, like on the website and stuff. Like you guys are like the spitting image of health and wellness and strength and muscle building and all of it. And I believe you guys are fairly plant-based. Is that true? For the most part, kind of?
For the most part, we're eating mostly fruit.
Wow. Just a bunch of fruit. And so, yeah, just so excited to have them on. And I'd love to just really open it up and both of you share like your favorite part about what has Purium transformed, like where you were before. I know that Ra had many gyms and things like that. I know Seema was dancing in the streets and trying to save the world with architecture and all these things, but it just wasn't that fulfilling. And the gym is Ra's favorite place and being strong and amazing and like empowering others, but he was like locked down too in his gym. And so I think these two are both all about freedom just as much as we all are as well. And so I wanted to introduce them. It's amazing to watch everybody grow in this company, like we're all in it together and learning as much as we can and sharing as much as we can. So Seema, you're unmuted. If you want to share first, I'd love to hear like, what was it like? What was that moment that you were just like, oh my God, I have to do Purium because of all these things that are happening in my life, and whatever love you want to share with everyone. So my team gets to know you too.
Oh, awesome. Hi, Kim, and hi, everybody. Such an honor to be here and to have you all this morning. It's always such an honor to work with Kim and her team and collaborating, because that's what we do. We're better together, always sharing what works. And a little bit about my story. So as Kim mentioned, I'm an architect. My dream was to become an architect because I come from South America. No one really in my family has gotten through college. And when we moved to the United States, I felt like it was my right and my destiny to go to school, to get a college degree, to be the first one, to have a professional practice. And I did everything that I was told to do. I went to school, I got scholarships, I followed the system to the T. And I graduated, I became an architect, got full scholarships, all that thing, all the success that you can think of. And I was happy because I finally made it, right? It's like, oh, you finally made it. You got all your degrees. I got a really legit job. I was working in Beverly Hills, building 250,000 square feet and bigger. And it was like my dream come true. However, after 8 years of doing that and going to work, going to my office, getting a cup of coffee in the morning, then taking the bus because it was over an hour and a half of hour in traffic to get to Santa Monica. And I lived in downtown LA. It was exhausting taking the bus, then going to work, then having lunchtime around noon, getting another cup of coffee, and then working until probably 10 p.m., then taking another bus, coming back home. So then the next day I could do it all over again. And sometimes I had to do it on the weekends too, because I had huge deadlines, huge clients, a lot of money. You know, my clients had to invest at least $10 million in a building minimum, right? So it wasn't selling a $329 pack or a $200 pack. I had to find clients that had over $10 million and had to be willing to invest and pick me, right? So it was a lot of stress. And I did that for about 8 to 9 years. And then I finally got my car because I wanted to get a car. But what I did is that I didn't take vacations for the whole year. And then I asked my boss to pay me off my vacation so then I could have extra money, because I was also helping my parents. I didn't have extra money. So I didn't take a vacation all year. I accumulated all my PTO, all my paid time off. I accumulated all of my vacation time, and I asked to be paid off. I said, I want to be paid off for this many hours that I didn't take off. Imagine that, working as a slave a whole year so I could have my time paid off, and then I could have enough to pay for my car. So I bought a car, and finally I'm driving to work. Instead of being in the bus for an hour and a half, now I get to be in my car for an hour and a half. And as I was driving, I was literally crying in my car saying, this is not sustainable. I don't want to be doing this for the rest of my life. At the time I was dating Ra, he was my boyfriend, and he was at the beach slacklining, you know, in the morning, in the middle of the day. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to go to the beach and I want to be slacklining in the sun instead of going to work. And I got to work, and I was sitting downstairs. My office was in the second floor, and I was crying, and I called my friend, my colleague, because we had a big deadline. And I said, I don't want to come in. I want to go back home. I don't want to sit and waste my life away in a 9-to-5 job. So at that moment, I decided to work on my own and have my own architecture projects and find my own clients. And I started to work independently. However, that was even more stress. I think Terry, it's muted. So it was even more stress when I had to work on my own, because now I had to do everything on my own. And
you want a piece?
Thank you.
It's really good.
If you make me a co-host, Kim, I can mute everybody. I'm really good at that. So fast forward, I didn't want to go to work anymore. I didn't want to waste my life away. And Ra, at the moment, he was my boyfriend, and he's like, why don't you make a list of all the things that you would like to do if money wasn't an issue? What would you do if money wasn't an issue? Would you go to work if money wasn't an issue? And the answer was no. If I didn't struggle with money, and if I didn't live paycheck to paycheck, I would not have gone to work. So that was an awakening moment, because I was doing it now because I needed the money. I needed to pay for rent. Living in downtown LA was really expensive. Buying my food, I was helping my parents. So I didn't have many savings because I was giving money to my parents, and I still do. I helped them with their rent. I helped my sister for many months because she was in a surgery and she couldn't work. So I had to give her an extra $3,000 to her so she can pay for her rent and take care of my nieces. So most of my money was going away for my family. And that's probably something that Hispanics, Latinas do, right? We always take that responsibility from our family, which is something that I'm working through. And then Ra was at the time doing the Purium transformation. And he comes to my house with a big Power Shake bottle, and he's like drinking his green juice. And I'm like, oh, can I try that? Like, that looks good. And he's like, well, this is from a network marketing company. And I was like, oh, really? And he's like, yeah, if you want to make some money, you can always join them because they pay you a commission, and people are always asking you about superfoods and protein, because at the time I was Jack, that was an athlete, and people were always asking me about, how do I get your six pack? How do I get fitter? How do I grow my hair and all those kinds of things? But I didn't really have anything to offer. I was always like, go to Whole Foods, go to Amazon, right? I was never given anything good. I tried to give something good quality, but nothing like Purium. So I said, okay, so I'm going to take a look at the website. And I took a look at the website, and then I called Purium. I called the 1-800 number, and I said, I want to join the business. So I signed myself up pretty much. And I was like, who introduced you? And I say, Ra, my boyfriend, Ra of Earth. And I was like, okay. So I signed up underneath Ra. I had no idea what I was doing, but I got so upset because they made a mistake. And I just went on back office. They said that I couldn't join the business if I didn't have a smart order. And I was like, oh, well, I thought the business was $199. What do you mean I have to pay $300 to join the business and buy another product? And I was upset. I almost don't join the business because I had to put a smart order on file. All right. And I said, well, I always wanted to try the super aminos, so I'm going to buy a bottle of super aminos. And the guy charged me for 2 bottles of super aminos. That's why I had to pay over $300 to join. And I was so upset. But I almost don't join the business because of the smart order. Can you believe that? Because I was so tight with money that an extra bottle of aminos, it was almost a deal breaker for me to not join the business. And imagine how many people out there don't join the business because an extra $50 breaks their bank, and they don't have the budget for that. I had to pay rent. I had to help my parents. I had so much money that I needed that I couldn't put $300 to join the Purium business. But anyways, I had faith. And then I talked to Lucy Maces and I said, how many packs do I need to sell to make $300 by next Friday? I need to make that money back immediately. And I work with numbers in my head. So it's like, okay, if I need $300, I need to sell 6 packs, at least 6 packs to make my income back next Friday. So I focus on selling at least 6 packs by the following week so I could get my investment back. And yeah, that's how I got started in the business. It was just being frustrated because I was giving my time away and I wanted something different. And part of me felt a lot of resistance because I didn't want to let go of a professional career. That's why I was a diamond for a full year, because I wasn't fully invested in Purium. I was a diamond. I hit diamond in my 3rd month, and I hit diamond without really even knowing that I was going for diamond. I was just sharing, because back then with Kim and I joined and Ra, we weren't really into the faster program. It was kind of like cruising through it, right? We didn't really put much attention into the systems. And I literally just got into diamond. And then there's a lot of us that are holding on to our past life because of security, right? I was holding on to my architecture career because of ego, mainly because I didn't want to be in a network marketing company. I wanted to be an architect, right? A very prestigious one that had really good jobs and clients. And for a year, I was holding on to my architecture practice. And after a year, I wanted to travel. And with Ra at the time, we put all of our house in storage, and we said we're going to be gone for a year. And I couldn't do that being an architect. So I decided to put my architecture practice in hold and go Purium full time. And 90 days later, I made it to Crown because I was really fully focused. So I'll pass it to Ra. I know Ra has a little bit of a different story, and he came in, even though he signed me up, he took a few months to join. So I'm sure there's a lot of you guys that have an upline that signs you up, and then your upline decides to be fully active way after you join, right? And that's really what happened with Ra and I.
Yeah, it was the same thing with me, where I was identifying as somebody who used to own a gym. And so if I would be somewhere and somebody would ask, what do you do? Instead of talking about Purium or network marketing or leadership development, it would be, I used to own a gym. And then the conversation would go from there. And so I know that what the question was originally from Kim, but I just want to piggyback off of what Seema said, that it was more than a year went by before I started identifying as a network marketer, as, you know, whatever terminology that we use. At the end of the day, there are some things that we are, like, without a doubt, we are salesmen. Like, we can say that we're sharing superfoods, that we're transforming lives, but we are salesmen. We are in the business of network marketing. And it took me over a year to be comfortable with that. And I was still identifying as a gym owner. And so going back to owning a gym, I got to the point where I realized that if I wanted to make the financial goals and the lifestyle that I wanted owning a gym, I would have to have 5 gyms. And I had 2 at the time, but I would need 5 gyms, and I would need to figure out how to automate them in order to have the lifestyle and the amount of money that is necessary to live well in Los Angeles. Because to live well in Los Angeles, it's it's an abundance of money needed here to be up in the hills, or you know, and have a nice lifestyle. So once I had that realization, I really didn't want to do the gyms anymore. So I shut them down. I traveled a lot. Like Seema said, I was just hanging out at the beach pretty much every single day. I was outside. I was reading books, and I was just floating through life for 2 years. Right when I was closing my gyms, I made a list, though. I made a list of what my next business was going to be. So when I closed my gyms, I sold my clients and I sold my equipment. And so I had money. I think I had like $60,000 basically cash. And then I was also making another 2 grand a month, just because I was still working out with one person and he was paying me 2 grand a month. So I pretty much floated for 2 years off that money doing nothing. But I made a list when I closed my gyms of what I wanted my next business to be. And on that list, it was like impossible. I put no overhead. I put 100x my investment within 6 months. I put, if I wanted to sell it within 2 years, I would be able to do that. No employees, no location dependence. I was just basically writing down no unclogging toilets. I was just writing down everything that I hated about the gyms and that I didn't want that in my next business. And then I closed my gyms and I just floated. And I was playing, like, you know, this game with myself of like, do I need money to survive? Do I need this to survive? Do I need a house to survive? Do I need a house to live well? And there was a time where I didn't even have housing. I had a storage unit. I was just floating. I was staying in people's houses when they would leave town. I stayed in my storage unit a few times. I stayed in a Korean spa a few times. And that was really good. And I think that a lot of people that I see coming into Purium is in this state. And that's why I'm talking about it right now, because or at least let me back up. I attract people that are in this state because I was there. So there's a lot of people that are kind of like anti-money, anti-establishment, almost even allergic to money. And I would say that I was probably there when I got involved in Purium, but I knew about business. I knew about the money game. I did have a healthy relationship with money. I was just choosing out of it. And I feel like a lot of people joining Purium are that way. That's how they find their way to healthy living, organic living, because they've kind of stepped out of the rat race. What happened for me was, once I got involved with Purium, I started to taste, and this is the question Kim said, like, how did this transform me? I started to taste what being productive was again. So I was going from like hippie to I was starting to see transformation. I was starting to see my impact on people. I started enrolling brand partners, and I could see those brand partners go from living in a van to not living in a van, right? From living with their parents to not living with their parents, to never buying a laptop to buying a laptop in their life. And for me, I started realizing that helping people with money was more gratifying than anything I ever did in the gym. Teaching people how to do push-ups is really cool. Teaching people how to be fit, how to have a six-pack, how to attract a mate with their functional body, that was really, really cool. And I thought that was like the height of teaching, especially when I got into yoga, and then I'm teaching people meditation and breath work. That's all really cool. But when you give somebody power through currency, through money, that is where everything just sort of got in alignment with me. I realized that Purium, this business, what we're doing, is an evolution off of all of the teaching and coaching that I've ever done. And I'm able to take the experience that I had, but channel it in a different direction here. So yes, we are selling superfoods, but for me, the superfoods is not the interesting part. I've spent my entire career helping people get healthy. So the transformations of people that were sick to not sick, I'm not saying that that's not great, because it is, but for me, it's not gratifying, because I've done that my entire life. I've done that. I've watched that. So for me, it really is about the power that we can give people through having money in their bank account, and what that can do to people. That drives me to work every day. It drives me to make the phone calls to my new brand partners to make sure that they're, on the right path. So that's what I could offer you guys. That's the story that I usually don't tell, is like why this is important to me. It's really not the foods. Personally, it's about the business for me and helping others with business, because that's where I see a lot of people need that lift up.
Yeah, I will second that with Ra as well. I think that I came in because of the superfoods, because I love the passion that Dave and Amy put into the superfoods. But once you start growing into the ranks, and especially when I got to Crown, I realized that I loved personal development and I love to help people through their mind blocks. And that's really, once you are getting to Crown, you step into a different kind of leadership, where now you're taking care of a massive team and it's really all mindset. I also discovered that in this journey, that now my biggest passion is helping people get through their mind blocks, let go of their ego, their limiting beliefs, whatever is holding them back, and really be free. And that's something that I've seen it with my team. I have let's say my red diamond, Melissa Castillo. She was super shy, sitting in the couch, in the corner, not talking to anyone. And she was an extreme introvert. And now if you see her on Instagram, if you see her, she's always sharing and talking and being open. And that is like the biggest transformation, how someone can step into their freedom and fully express their potential of who they are by being supported with this business model. So I agree with Ra. It's way more than the superfoods. As you start growing, you start realizing and discovering that, yes, everybody needs the foods and they're healing and they're amazing, but there's way more to the business that we can all explore, and that you might find other passions as well. So
yes, you two are amazing. And, kind of like myself, we've had the fortune of having health and wellness be at the forefront of our lives for a really long time. And that is why we get to have the abundance mindset of because if you have health and you don't have wealth, that's not very fun. And if you have a ton of wealth and you don't have your health, then that's not going to work either. So I totally get but it's so amazing to not have any type of resistance of having money flow into our lives. Like if anyone is still working with that, it's like you can feel when people are in resistance of allowing financial freedom to come into their lives, and you can see it in their sales, you can see it in the way that they connect with people, you can see it. So I'm really thankful for all of the things that you both have been sharing. And like Ross said, it's the evolution of it all. Like there's so many different levels of evolution and transformation that Purium offers us. And in like each rung of that winding staircase, you just get another level of realization of who you get to be, who you're calling in, what type of leadership you're going to be stepping into as a leader of leaders. And and at the same time, what I've noticed, if my builders don't have these superfoods flowing into their mouths consistently, their confidence is not that great to work the business or invite more people into the business or anything like that. So I just, it's so holistic. And what I also heard you both say is like, Ra wrote down everything that he wanted because of the perspective of what he didn't want anymore, which is what I love. Like perspective, when we hold on to that in a way and we utilize it for our highest good, like we can amplify everything on so many levels. So yeah. And then I love what Ra was saying, like if we haven't stepped into, and I get it because I didn't do it for a long time either, to be able to be like, I'm a professional network marketer with the cleanest food and multi-level marketing company on the planet. Like there's no other company on the planet that's better. And that'll bring me to my next question for them. Because we've gotten to be with the top network marketers on the planet and what they're selling people. And, and there's a part of me that is like, wow, there's other people in other companies that are making a lot more money really fast, kind of, it seems like, in other network marketing companies. But I'd rather take the Purium boat to China than to ever like jump on some other network marketing company out there because of poisoning people with a bunch of product because you can make possibly more money. Like I feel like, I don't know, I'd love to kind of hear your perspective of how much more you've like anchored yourself into Purium because of seeing all the other network marketing stories out there. And whoever wants to go first, do you want to say something, Rob?
Yeah, I'll go. So a realization that I've had not too long ago was that we are Purium. Like we are Purium. Purium is the network marketing company that markets and distributes organic by nature superfoods. Okay, so Dave and Amy own a company. They were white labeling, they were wholesaling for a long time, a couple decades. And then one of the companies that they were white labeling for network marketing companies, and eventually they were like, why don't we start our own network marketing company? These products are great, and these other companies that are using network marketing is doing great. And maybe this can be a way that we can help more people because they love helping people, right? That's why they're in Compton right now. So they made Purium. Purium is us. Okay. And so when I'm looking at other network marketing companies, other leaders and other network marketing companies, I'm like, oh, everything's so great over there. Or those people have this system or whatever they're making, they're making $250,000 a month. It's because they did it. They did it with their products. It's not necessarily that the company itself did anything, right? The company itself just has products. The distributors or the brand partners or whatever, they did it on that company. They're responsible for the growth, not the company, right? Not anything about the company. It's the people. And so that's us for Purium. If we want to have an exponentially growing company, it's not up to Dave and Amy or the warehouse. Like we're Purium. It's up to us. We are the ones that are going to figure out the system. We're the ones that are going to percolate this through all layers of society and really just owning that the reason why my business is the way that it is because of me, right? And knowing that all of us have a lot more growth to do and looking forward to exploding this company because we do still have a lot more growth to do. And it has nothing to do with the people at the warehouse. Like that's not their job. Their job is to make the products and ship the products and maybe make some cool labeling and a website. It's our job to sell. And so I really just have to remind myself that which I don't really, but if I feel, or if I see somebody else feeling like another company is sexier to go over there, like just we can make our company the one that everybody else is looking at.
Thank you so much. I love that. I mean, it's so true. And we've got the sexiest food on the planet. So if we're going for that. Seema, what has been some of the biggest blessings that, learning from top network marketing, what have you taken away, or like, what are some of the things that like helped you believe and see things differently because of what you've been educating yourself with for the last couple of years?
Yeah, so I mean, the main thing that I see when I see other successful network marketers, and I follow a lot of them, right? Because success leaves cues, and I always follow all the top leaders of other companies, even if it's the top leader from Herbalife, right? I follow them all because they're all doing something good. And as Ross said, most people buy us. We are the brand. It's not the product, right? People will love the products because you love the products. People don't know how much you know until they know how much you care. So if you are this raving fan and they love you, I mean, I have people on Instagram that message me and say, I love your values. I love how toxin free you are, how clean you are, how selective you are. So if you're offering me Purium, 100% trust it, right? Because they like me, whether I offer them Purium or something else. So we always have to remember we are the brand. And as Ra mentioned, all these top network marketers in other companies, they're doing the work. I mean, I love how much they're working, they're showing up, they're consistent. And even though I don't feel in alignment with our products because I see them drinking beers and drinking junk food and snacking on candy, right? And they're promoting their foods, but yet they have a very unhealthy lifestyle. It's not about the product. It's about them showing up powerfully. And I think that we should all try to do what all the top leaders do. And they're leading with the money. We're leading with the heart. We're leading with the superfoods. We're leading with our mission, which is greater, right? Ending human suffering. We can't do it alone. Suffering is optional. So we can really shift everyone's consciousness a little bit so they realize that their suffering is optional and that there is a solution if they're open to the possibility of, taking a look and consuming our products. It's so different to be able to lead not only by making money, but also by giving the superfood nutrition that we know it's going to change their lives. And we know it's going to also take care of our planet, and we're not contaminating the planet. I mean, I feel so proud when people ask me for samples and I tell them we don't have samples because we don't want to contribute to more pollution in the planet. Imagine how much garbage goes into the planet with everybody that's giving all these samples. But very soon, because now we have biodegradable packaging, we might consider doing samples because we're now not going to be polluting the environment. So I feel so proud of, being in alignment with my values. And then people are like, wow, you truly care about, the health of the planet and the health of people. And I have a lot of top network marketers, the top platinum, diamonds, crowns from other companies be my customers. A lot of the top network marketer leaders, top young living, they're all my customers in Purium because they are so curious about this superfood nutrition because deep inside of their heart, they know that this stuff works. I even heard of a story of a top young living, top distributor leaving her position because she was no longer in alignment with Young Living's new ingredients. And she left. And that's what I'm talking about, being so passionate about your values and what you stand for in life that it doesn't matter how much money you make, you will move because you're not in alignment. And I think it's so beautiful to see other network marketers do the hustle. And even though they might be making a little bit more money because their company's been around 50 years or 10 times more years than Purium has been alive, that's why they're making a lot of money. We're a baby company. We're just getting started. Like we're literally I think that this is we're going to year 10 of network marketing, which means that we're at the peak. we're at the peak time. We're right when the company is about to literally go viral. And that's where you want to be. This is the right timing. And real estate is all about timing and timing. And network marketing is all about, and real estate is all about location, right? Location. This is the prime location. And network marketing is all about timing. And we are right at the right timing in this network marketing company. So it will be so silly to go to another company that's been around for 75 years when this is about to become huge all around the world. So we're right at the right time. And I appreciate hard work, whether it comes from somebody working in Herbalife, full of chemicals and toxins and, stuff that I don't want in my body. I still appreciate their hard work because they're hustling as much as I am hustling. They're looking for their clients as much as I'm looking for my clients. And in their mind, they're helping people, right? In their mind is not, oh, who can I make sick today, right? In their mind, they're thinking, who can I help today? In their mind, they're thinking, what girl can I fix or make more beautiful with makeup or with hair, right? So everybody has a different perspective, and there's polarities for everything, right? There's love and there's hate. There couldn't be love without hate. There's healthy and there's unhealthy. So there's polarities for absolutely everything. You have a perspective, there's an equal opposite perspective, right? And there's always going to be two sides to the story. So to them, they're doing something good. Like imagine somebody, oh, I'm going to go make 10 people sick. Like I need to talk to 30 people so I make 3 sick. They're not thinking that way. They're truly in alignment with our product. We are just a little bit different because we have a different level of education. And that's why when we even educate those network marketers, a lot of them switch because their values are more important than making money. So that's my take on that. Did that respond to your question, Kim?
I think it's absolutely beautiful. And this is solid gold, this call. It'll be really fun to have everybody listen to the replay. I wanted to hand the mic over to any of my builders because they are so good at reflecting back what they hear. I think of Barry, I think of Bethany, Tammy. I would just love to hear from anyone, Gina, Allison, Peter. I love that Peter and Natalie are on, and just to like reflect some of the things that were just said. And if you have any questions or just like, this is such an amazing powwow of getting to have this type of mastermind. Really, it is a mastermind. And, if there's any type of blocks that you are having, like Ra is, you can hear him, like you can hear, it's like he would just, like, it would be like, it's like the power of Grayskull. He's got the thing, he's just, they've got it. And then to think that they get to do this together, that's my favorite. It's like they both have so much wisdom and they're both two completely separate beings and they're doing this together. So I just think it's amazing. But I'd love to, hand the mic over to anyone. Just raise your hand and be present to what they shared. I know, Barry, I'm sure you have a ton of reflections for them.
Thank you for that. And you're right, Kimberly, I do have a ton of reflections, the amount that I can learn from every time that we all get together. But when I hear Ron, I hear Seema, and it's not even just to hear them. These leaders fill my senses, my eyes, my heart, and the stories are so important. And it's because they're honest and they're authentic. And I made a comment about when Ra said that it's kind of a non-mercenary. I mean, it's not all about the money and greed and the power and the solely the profit, but it is about the money, the exchange of resources in the form, the abundance in the form of money. It's okay to allow that to make your life better and to help make other people's lives better. And I think most of us are here because our lives have been made better. And we want to pass that on and to know and understand and believe that we not only have pure superfoods, but we have, pure super people that have put together a comp plan and a business plan and a personal development plan that allows for this for us to help people not the essential nutrients into their body, but to exchange resources in abundance and teaching them that. So I just love that called it a non-mercenary perspective of helping people to be the best version of themselves, to live their brightest light. And it's okay, because that's part of what we do here. And it took probably a good year. I'm one of the OGs here with Kimberly, and it took me about a year or so to just keep listening and absorbing and realizing that this mission is really the pillar of it being about wealth. It's like they almost can't give the money away better or faster. Keep creating new ways to let the abundance come into the company and then be filtered back out to us. And they really mean that. That's really happening. And the honesty and the integrity is incredible. So thank you for letting push that out there. I get a little animated sometimes of you, and let's hear from somebody else too. Thanks.
Thank you, Barry. And can I respond a few words? So one of the things that I discovered was that, we all have exactly what we believe we deserve. All of us, we all have exactly what we believe we deserve. So if you believe that you deserve something better, you need to start believing that. So you can start becoming that vibration, and you can become an energetic match. And I used to say that I deserve to make more money and I deserve to help more people, but I didn't truly believe, right? Like that a program of scarcity. And even though I would say it and speak it out loud, my soul wouldn't believe it to an energetic level. It was only when I started to believe it, and I started to believe it by using vision boards, cutting magazines, writing down my vision, journaling, starting to talk to people, telling the world, and then figuring out how to do it. But I had to start using those systems to help me start believing. Because the moment that I started believing that I truly deserve to help more people, and I truly deserve to be a crown and make this money so I could step into my financial abundance for the first time in my life and focus on what I want and know what I could afford, I started to shift my reality. And I started to attract people that were in the same mission than me, that were in the same frequency, that were in the same wavelength. So it started with change your belief system. And just know that you have exactly what you deserve. So all of us, like, you deserve exactly the house that you're sitting on right now, because that's what your energetic vibration is being a match for. So that helped me a lot to be unstuck and move to the next level, really working inwards with myself and my mind.
I love that. Rod, do you want to speak to anything with that before we go on? Allison has a question.
Yeah, I just liked that Barry pointed out that Purium is giving so much money out to the field. So much, guys. If you actually add up how much money comes in, if you hit Fast Start Director, with the promotions, they're pretty much paying that all right back to you. They're almost giving the gross amount of money that comes into the company, they're giving back to the brand partner. And just understand that that's the culture, that's the system that we're in. And that the company's doing that for you, and that if you really want to be in the flow, that being in alignment with that and understanding that money is what's going to lubricate your business system, which are the people in your downline. Your people in your downline need that money to pay the bills and to keep on working. So the more money that gets infused into your downline through Fast Start, through matching Fast Starts, we should really work to achieve and make sure that the people in our downline get paid as much as possible, because Purium's working the same way. They're working and coming up with creative ideas to pay you as much as possible. You now turn around and work to make sure that your downline gets paid as much as possible.
I love that. And before I go on to Allison and Bethany, that was like one of my pieces of talking about the promotions. And as leaders, once everybody has a team and once you all are leaders, you'll start to see that, like, the people that show up to do the promotions, you're going to be like on your knees crying that they're just like doing it, that you don't have to be like running around begging everybody to do the promotions that they're here on Monday. They tell us, Tuesday, they tell us, like that is probably the only thing that isn't fun about doing this as network marketing, is the thing that I'm like running around like a mother, asking everyone to declare, asking all the adults to declare. And this is like my only, luckily I get to have all this space held, and you're all so gracious to me to let me say this out loud to everyone, you know, to just like really everyone step into this leadership. Seema and I were talking the last time after the call, and we're just like, we kind of don't know what to do. How do we inspire people to like do the promotions? Like, what else are we supposed to do? And so let's have this right now, the words coming through, be a full activation to all of us here, that me as a leader, Seema as a person, Ra as a person, like we're done. Like we're not doing it anymore. You all get to be the leader that you are. You're the leader, you're the leader, you're the leader. Like everyone's their own leader. So my biggest thing is like, how do we inspire each other, the team, the whole thing, to just like take this knowingness that you are the leader of your own business, and to do the promotions, to honor Purium as what they're putting on the table for us. And so I just hope after this call today, and after, like, yes, we're still going to put the promotions on our like list of things, like in our groups, but like what it like to be like, and I'm always like, can somebody, you know, share this or share that? And it's like, what if we just all started doing it? It would literally blow our minds if like we don't have to ask people to show up to do the promotions that we've all said that we're joining this business because we want to do this as a business. So yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Can I add something into the promotions?
Yes.
So the company, it's giving us all this money and all these points to incentivize us to do something that we should be doing anyways, even if there wasn't a promotion. When Kim and I started and Ra, like we hit Crown without promotions, all right? Because we were doing the work. So this is an incentive for you to get in to do the work that you're supposed to do. And in exchange, you get free points. But this is incentivizing to build behavior. How can the companies thinking, how can we incentivize the field to do what they're supposed to do? Because a lot of us are not doing what we're supposed to do. So they're giving us all this money and all these points to do our work. I mean, imagine what other company do you know, Kim and Ra? I don't know of any other network marketing company that pays their partners, their distributors, to do work that they're supposed to do. I mean, we are so honored and so blessed that the company incentivizes us to get out of our comfort zone. It incentivizes us to read more stories. It incentivizes us to put ourselves on social media, the strongest platform that we have to brand ourselves. Remember, people buy us. They don't buy the product, they buy us, how much we care about the product. So we have to lead by example. And something that I learned is, don't create an adult daycare. If we're having to text you and remind you every single week, like make sure you make your post, make sure you submit, and you're not doing the work, you're not that serious about building a business, because those true leaders that want to take their business to the next level are doing the work. Trust me, my top leaders, I don't have to remind them to submit widen your reach or to submit to share because you care. That just happened. They know what's going on. They're on top of their game. So if you want to be a top leader, you got to act like a top leader. Or otherwise, you're never going to be a top leader. A top leader doesn't just go to sleep without thinking about the promotions. A top leader leads by example because it's all energy. You can't tell somebody to do something you're not doing. That is inauthentic. It's not true. It's not real, right? So lead by example. I share Purium/win. That has to be your best friend. Every week I go into that website multiple times. I have it open right now, right? I have to know exactly what is the social media promotion. Hashtag PHP transform now. How many points are you going to get if you submit? What transformation now? Buy 3 packs, right? Get free products, get free points. I mean, we are doing that anyway. So get familiar with the promotions, get familiar with boards, and lead by example. So I just wanted to add that because that's behavior that we should all be doing. You know, we should all be doing the promotions, whether they're in promotion or not in promotion. And when the promotion goes away, you should still be doing the same thing, because you should reprogram your mind to build a new habit.
Thank you. Thank you. So good. We get to have some strong goodness here. Miss Allison, what is your takeaway, or what would you like to share?
Well, I want to thank you, Kim, and Seema and Ra. I really love your guys' mindset, and you guys are so like full of heart, just like Kim, and like so mindset based, and I really resonate with that. So I really want to thank you for joining our call today. And I also wanted to reflect. I've had a lot of people ask me about samples, and I've never really thought of it that way as far as the waste goes. And with that, that's like something I can speak on when people ask me for samples. We don't want to keep throwing garbage into a landfill. So that I absolutely love that, Seema, that you brought up the waste factor, because that hadn't even crossed my mind. But I also wanted to ask you guys, Ra, I have a partner who has been using Purium with me this entire time. Our journey started in May, so about 6 months ago. And he's really into Purium. He loves it. He takes the products, eats the foods religiously. And I am wondering how you guys how did you bring it up to Seema, and how has it helped build your relationship and building your businesses together as a couple? I would like to hear a little bit about that.
It's all about solving a problem, right? So you heard when Seema said, when I actually told her, hey, Purium's a network marketing company, you should do it. It's because I could see her unhappy with her struggles. I could see her struggling with her work and not knowing if this is the right direction to do. So it's just fitting it. You got to find the missing, like where there's a problem, and then fit Purium in like a puzzle piece. And it's going to be up to them to realize it. So pushing is never the answer. It's just, if it's going to satisfy them, then bring it up from that angle. So I'll stop there. Seema, you want to answer a little bit about that?
Yeah, I knew that Ra cared about me, right? So I knew that if he cared about me, he wasn't going to offer me something that was going to hurt me or was going to be bad for me. So I trusted him. That's why the power of referrals is so powerful, because somebody that they love refer them to them, and it's not going to be a scam. It's not going to be something bad, because my boyfriend is not going to send me somewhere where I could be in danger, right? So the power of referrals is so important. I mean, yesterday I got on the phone with a lady. She wants to drop 80 pounds and she's super obese, and she wants to start with 80 pounds. And she saw my unboxing with my other customer, right? And because she saw her sister-in-law, now she wants to do the program, because she's like, anything BB does, I can do too. I 100% trust my cousin. So now she's on board because of the power of referral. So it's so important that you know that if you're offering something to someone that you love, they're going to trust you. And because I trusted Ra, I said, okay, I know Ra will not eat anything that isn't the best of the best. And because I know his values for food and what he puts in his body, I immediately trusted Purium. That's why I even bought the $199 pack, and I bought a bottle of aminos. I didn't even try the transformation when I joined, because I knew the transformation was amazing because Ra was doing the transformation. So I 100% trusted that. So the power of people don't know how much you know until they know how much you care. If you care so much, they're going to trust you. And another thing that I wanted to mention, I forgot who said it. You know, sometimes I come across as I'm tough because I care. You know, I talk to my leaders very strongly because I care so much. So there's a difference between being tough and being mean, right? Just know when somebody's really tough. I mean, you hear Dave Sandoval's passion in the calls. He's so passionate. He sounds really tough, right? But it's because he just deeply, deeply cares. So, you know, when Kim talks to you or anyone that really cares about you talks to you very tough, they're not being mean to you. It's not their ego. They care about you so much that they're standing up for you because you're not standing up for yourself. So I want to pass it to Bethany because I do have to leave in 3 minutes because I have another team call. But I'd be happy to take any other questions. If anyone has any questions, Kim, you can connect them and I can make sure I answer everybody's question.
Thank you so much, Seema and Ra, for being here. And I was just feeling really prompted to share that I've seen the bigger vision of what Purium is bringing to us. It's not just about us individually. I'm seeing, like, when you're at a concert and you're in the front row and all you can see is the band, but in the nosebleed section, you can see everyone and you can see the bigger picture, and you can really appreciate how the fact that humanity is suffering through all of the malnutrition and the glyphosate and everything that is happening, the fact that what little nutrition they are putting in their bodies, they can't even absorb, and they're in this suffering state, and that keeps people asleep. And we are on the cusp of this great awakening. We are entering a new golden age. And I have seen how Purium is part of that, in order to bring the fruit of the earth into people so easily accessible, and to bring it into our bodies and move us from scarcity mindset in our bodies into an abundance mindset in our bodies. And then it translates into every area of our life. Like, this is not just about helping one person at a time. This is actually, we're helping humanity wake up every time we have a yes. And it's okay for the people that aren't ready for that. Bless them and move on. It's not everybody is soul has determined that this is the lifetime that they're going to wake up, but this food is part of the great awakening. And so I just wanted to share that, because that's my why, is because I have come to this earth with a mission to assist in people's awakening. And this is one of the tools that I have now. And it's assisted me in my awakening. And so I'm so grateful. And it's an act of self-love, and the self-love, it's love thyself. It is true love that can be shared with all. So thank you so much for allowing me to share that.
Awesome. Thank you. It is. It's all about ourself and finding ourself and deepening the connection with ourself. Seema, are you going to say bye?
Yes, I have to hop off, but I love you all. Thank you so much, Bethany. That was super inspiring. Yes, the new earth is here. Equal opportunity for all. Everybody deserves to be healthy, to be wealthy, to experience their dreams, the wildest dreams come true. Everybody deserves that. And we are that light to activate other people. So we have the power to experience and to create heaven on earth, because it starts with us. So thank you guys. I love you so much. And I have to go to another training, but feel free to ask me any questions, anything that you need, let Kim know, and she'll put us in touch. All right. Bye, everyone. Bye, Kim. We'll talk later. Thank you.
I've got to, I want to say one more thing. It was
Yeah.
basically from Allison's. I know we're running late, but when it comes to attracting the brand partners that you guys need and want for your business, because we all do need strong brand partners. We're building, Seema and I are approaching like the $1 million mark of income pretty soon. I don't know if we're already past it. I checked it like a year ago and I was like, it should be about a year before we make $1 million. So $1 million is real money. This is real business. And having a real business leader is going to be what you guys are going to want to strive for. And you really have to ask yourself, like, are you prepared for that? Are you prepared to answer the questions that they're going to have for you as a real business person, right? Imagine yourself at a board meeting negotiating over millions of dollars. That's what we're doing here. We are convincing, inspiring, selling somebody who knows a lot about themselves, a lot about business, a lot about negotiations, sales. We are going to have to pull that person away from their life, their career, their passions, and set them in this framework where they work from nothing and build something. They have to start over again here. And that's a tough pitch. That's a tough sell to do to somebody who's already successful. Those are the brand partners that we need, right? Imagine that you're going into $1 million business with a brand partner. You need to show up that way and really asking yourself, am I prepared for that? Do I know the ins and outs of network marketing? Do I know the ins and outs of Purium? Do I know the stories? Do I know the origin story of Purium? Do I know why Amy's doing this? Do I know why Dave is doing this? Like, these are the things that we want to evolve to be able to do. All right. So just know that this is real business, and that if you want to attract a real business leader, that you have to be prepared. Have you read a network marketing book? Have you read 10 network marketing books? Because I'm sure whatever profession that you're in right now, or that you're coming from, that you've spent a significant amount of time learning about that field, about that craft. You might have even went to a 4-year college to get the job that you have right now, where you gave presentations, where you read 50 books on that field. If you want to be a pro here, prepare yourself, because the people that are going to show up that's going to change your life, those people are going to be able to spot whether you're prepared to handle them or not. And real business people do not do business with B and C players. If you want an A player, you have to be an A player yourself. And it doesn't have anything to do with the amount of income you're making. Just care enough to research, care enough to learn about how this business works. It is fun and games. At the end of the day, that's what we're here for. We are here for the smiles and the heart connection and the laughter and the community. But that all works because people are working. I own gyms. We loved it. Like, there are my core group of people. We would work out for the time we woke up to the time we went to sleep. I even one time used my second gym just as like a playhouse, basically. But the whole reason why we got to do that, and I would tell my coaching staff, because it would be my coaches, it was like our playground. But I would tell my coaches, like, all of this gets paid for by the hundreds of members that we have coming in who are just the office workers in downtown LA. We have to serve these people. We have to attract these people. There is business to be done for us to play. Okay. Anyways, that's my
solid gold tips from Raw of Earth. Really, truly. I mean, it's all fun and games. We get to mix superfoods, and it's like, I can see, and I always say that, like, I've created these systems now. How much do you know? And it's like the people that are really diving into them, there's a confidence. And then as soon as we have the confidence, the more people will come. If we're not in a state of having the tools, knowing the systems, like Ra's saying, it's like, I don't know what to do with these people once they come. So what am I like, how am I going to do it? So it's like, it's all subconscious. And if we're in alignment, like you're talking about, it's going to happen more than not.
Okay, I got to get over to the call. Bye,
Okay.
you guys. Thank
Everybody's
you so much.
amazing. Thanks, Ra. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
So much fun to have you. Have a great day. Thank you, everyone. That was amazing. I'm going, thanks for playing.
I welcome love. I welcome harmony.